The Volkswagen project has come a long way in a short time. Intake, exhaust, suspension, sway bar, we've even done a Revo. Now, in today's episode, we're going to finish it off with wheels and tires and brakes. Plus, we're going to add a product called a Sprint Booster, and we'll tell you all about that in a minute. Well, we're down to the short strokes on Richard's car. It's the VW VR6, very nice car, about 10 years old. All that's really left to do now is wheels and tires. Now, we did manage to get a brand new set of BBS CF wheels, courtesy of John Slagle, and we got them just in time to put them on today, ready for our last episode. We also got some Nanking tires from an automotive jobber. Now, they're a 225 40/18 tire to go with the BBS wheel. We're excited about putting these wheels and tires on the car, but at the grand opening at the Midas store, the newly reopened Midas store on Spears Road in Oakville, Gary Potter dropped by. Now, Gary Potter represents two lines, the Vortex brake pad, which has become synonymous with quality in this country and made right here in Canada, and the Extreme Stop rotor. Now, the rotor appealed to us because it's cross-drilled and slotted. Richard did a good job of painting out the calipers black so that they disappear behind the BBS wheel. So essentially, here's the procedure. It's simply a question of brakes on the Volkswagen. Now, this is a complete re, so we completely disassemble the rotor and caliper assembly, remove the rotor, take a lot of the crud from over the years that's built up behind the rotor away, reapply some anti-seize, and then the new rotor pops right back on. The new pads go in, and then it's simply a question of re-ing the brake system. Now, you probably want to have a pro like VJ do this for you, although it is doable in your own driveway. But we're really dealing with your brakes here. Why not pay the extra $100 and have a pro do it? Then it's a question of mounting up the tires on the BBS rims and installing the rims. Now, right away, you can see that this is a huge improvement over the OEM rim with a snow tire on it. And then finally, we recheck the alignment. You remember we did an alignment when we changed the geometry of the front end. Just to be safe, we're going to go over it again on the alignment rack and make sure we've got the perfect alignment for this brand new set of rims and tires. Now, the very last thing that we're going to install in this project is the Sprint Booster. Now, this is a piece that you can buy retail for about $325. And it only works on a drive-by-wire car. In other words, a car with no throttle cables, so that the signal from the gas pedal is sent electronically to the fuel injection system via the computer, which then meters the proper fuel-air ratio mixture. So the Sprint Booster really has three levels of activation. One is off, and so it behaves like it's not even there. Now, that's a good thing. You want to turn it off sometimes, especially when you're idling around town. If you're nearby a school or something like that, you don't want any sudden changes in throttle response. The first level of activation in the Sprint Booster gives you sort of a mild application of what it does. So kind of an introductory version. And then on full red, the thing just goes to wide open all the time. Now, you're going to find that problematic on a 200-mile trip because little changes in throttle are going to make a big difference, especially at 100 kilometers an hour. So it's nice to have the switch inside the cockpit so that you can adjust it. All right, so here we are. Everything is done to the car. Let's review. Revo software, Sprint Booster, intake from New Speed, exhaust from MagnaFlow, rear sway bar from New Speed, fully adjustable suspension front and rear from our friends at TN, and then we went ahead with Gary Porter's excellent OEM replacement brakes, cross-drilled rotors from Extreme Stop, and of course the Vortex pads, which he's virtually become famous for. I want to thank everybody for their contribution to Richard's car, especially BBS wheels. Can you believe how good they look? They just look absolutely natural on this car, and it's the biggest improvement you're ever going to make to your car in terms of cosmetics is wheels. I want to tell you, right out of the box, I'm a big fan of this car. The throttle response is absolutely remarkable, and it makes all these wonderful little noises. You just want to keep doing it. Keep making this noise. So the combination of all of this makes for a car that drives like it's worth way more than $14,000. This literally feels like a brand new Audi. And what in the world could be wrong with that? So you have to ask yourself at the end of the day, do you need a car like this? Well, you need a car, don't you? And to buy a new car of this quality, it's going to cost you 35 or 40 grand. So if you need any car, you probably need a car like this. But do you want a car like this? Listen to this noise. Yeah, baby, you want a car just like this. In fact, I'm keeping this car. Richard, you can pound salt. Just try to catch me.
I just can't make sense of it all.